my bike oiled.
Reverend Kirk Yertner, we also met,
Jim Horsby.
and this is Stephanie Cooper, Assistant Secretary.
I'd like to introduce Mayor William Flanagan to welcome everybody here to tonight's meeting regarding the Father Travassos Park upgrades.
Thank you, Liz. And I just want to take a moment to welcome everybody here and to say thank you for being a part of this public hearing. And as you've been following the announcements here in the city of Fall River, it was really inspiring and uplifting to have the Commonwealth of Massachusetts dedicate approximately $2.5 million to the renovation of Travassos Park. And that funding is going into a park that is in need of repair. It's in a section of the city that is heavily residential with families and children near a parochial school, grades pre-K through 8. So it's in a highly visible section of the city also, where you can see it from the highway. And to have the state's involvement to make this commitment, you're going to see a complete overhaul of Father Travassos Park. And that $2.5 million commitment is actually part of a larger $6.7 million commitment in our Flint section of the city of Fall River. In fact, as many of you know, we're putting forth the Crookshank River Rail Trail in the city of Fall River. Father Travassos Park will tie into that, and it will really give citizens of our community an outstanding opportunity for recreational use. To be able to go outdoors and take your children to a playground, to play a game of soccer on a field, to use a bike path or a walking path. You have tremendous opportunity before you. And I want to thank Carl Caesar, who is the president of the Flint Neighborhood Association, as well as members of the City Council and members of the Park Board and the Bicycle Committee for all being here, working in conjunction with the community and the administration. And our representatives, partners for a healthy community here too, and everybody working together to get our city moving. And it was discouraging to hear, I read a report recently which indicated that the city of Fall River actually ranked low on individuals who were healthy, and that's not the type of image that you want to have with your community, or the type of category you want to be in, where you're ranking high on people who are diagnosed as being unhealthy. So what we're trying to do here is change the image of the community, get more people active, reinvest in our parks and playgrounds, and to really create the image and the environment within the community where we're leading a healthier lifestyle. And tonight we have the opportunity to have public input on which design you want to see go forward for Father Travassos Park. There's two designs that have been put forth by the design group, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear exactly which items you want to see in a new park and playground, which items you think we can do without, or maybe even things we haven't thought of yet, which you want to see in there as we go into construction projects. And I want to also welcome Stephanie and give her the opportunity to bring greetings on behalf of her office. Stephanie.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And actually, one of the first things I was going to say was to thank the mayor and his staff for the great partnership. We've worked very well together, and we appreciate. We wouldn't be able to advance these projects without working so well together. So I'm really happy to be here today on behalf of the Patrick administration and Energy and Environmental Affairs Secretary Rick Sullivan. And these investments in parks and open space are a really important part of what we do at Energy and Environmental Affairs, and in fact they're a really important part of the Patrick administration. And this is actually part of our land conservation program. And Governor Patrick has made investing in urban parks, especially in our cities, one of our key goals. So this is a key part of what we do every day. We are really proud of what we've accomplished so far in the past 7 years. We have permanently protected 110,000 acres of land and also created 170 new parks. And one way that we measure that success that I think is pretty compelling is that the new parks and open space are within a 10-minute walk for 1.5 million people in the Commonwealth, which is 25% of the population. We think that's pretty good, but we're not done yet, and that's part of why we're here today. This investment in Father Travassos Park is part of a larger strategy and really a larger focus on Fall River. We have a program called Gateway City Parks, and part of the funding for this is coming from that. So we're focusing especially on 26 gateway cities in the Commonwealth, including Fall River. You may know that before the holidays, Governor Patrick announced a larger investment in the Quikasham River Rail Trail that the mayor referred to. And so it's over $7 or $8 million that the state is putting toward that project and Father Travassos. And we're trying to make larger connections. And so our goals are to reconnect to forgotten waterways, to create safe places to play and be outside that are close to home, to also bolster larger economic development, activity that's going on. And we found that because these projects are actually lifting all those goals at once, and we seek to do that, but not every project can do that. But because of that, these investments in Fall River are part of what the governor has created as an urban signature parks program. So I mentioned that we've created 170 new parks over the past 7 years, many in cities, but there are 6 that we think are really elevating our goals especially, and Father Travassos is part of one of them. So I guess I would say you're in very good company. Public process is really important to us. The whole point of this is that the parks serve all of you, so we really want to hear from you tonight in terms of the different elements. What does the community need? What we most enjoy when we're done with this? And as part of our Gateway City Parks program, we have contracted with the firm of Brown, Richardson & Rowe, and that is to be able to really have some of the best minds and talents around creating open space, sustainable open space and parks. And Brown, Richardson & Rowe is responsible for the design for the Quikasham Trail and for what you're going to see tonight for Father Travassos. So it's my pleasure to introduce partner Nina Brown to take us through the rest of tonight's agenda.
Thank you, Stephanie. I think the first thing I want to do is pass out a plan, one to each side. Started, it was going to be a straight 1.6 mile long trail that went from Rodman Street across the Quikasham River to connect to Britland Park. And then it would go on the old railroad right-of-way all the way to South Watuppa Pond. And we were really excited about that. And then the city got a grant to do work at Britland Park, and one of the things that happened as part of that project is that all the plants and vines and rusty chain link fence that were making it so you couldn't see the river are gradually being taken down. And from Britland Park, you can see where the rail trail will be going through the Quikasham River. And the Quikasham Trail will connect to that. And then the next thing that happened was that we are now trying to find a way, and we think this is possible, to connect Britland Park to Father Travassos Park. So all of this together will enable kids and their families to go on bicycles and walk between these different parks. And they'll have, as people have said earlier tonight, access to ball fields and play equipment. And so I wanted to put Father Travassos in context because it will be part of this larger system that I think is just going to be so cool. And a couple of weeks ago in a driving rainstorm, I went down to Britland Park, and I hadn't seen it since the chain link fence had been taken down. And it's just, the view from there is amazing. And I think that working on getting some of these views to be available to people is a really exciting opportunity, in addition to just the recreational aspects of this. So I thought I should tell you a little bit about what the schedule is for Father Travassos. We want to get your comments in January, and then we'll come back in February, because we're going to finish up the construction documents for this and put it out to bid in June for Father Travassos. And then the contractor will start in the summer, and the goal is to have it finished by June 30th, 2015, if not sooner. I mean, we're going to try to be basically totally done by December 31st, but there may be a few little things that need to be fixed in the following year. So just to go from the big picture to the more detailed picture, I thought it would be good to start talking about what are our goals, and creating your comments into what we do next. So when you have a comment, if you could say what your name is, and then, if you're from a soccer club or something like that, it would help us to know that. So I now open the floor to discussion.
I want to just read those a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, if you want to, do you want to come up and look at them before you ask your questions?